Shamika, help, I'm being sued. What do I do? Hey everybody, it's Shamika. Thank you for watching my videos. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. I appreciate your support. Please also hit the notification bell so that you can be kept abreast of my most current videos. All right, so you are being sued. Yes, this is happening right now with the pandemic. Why? Because individuals, especially these companies, they're not making money because individuals aren't working, they aren't settling, they aren't making payments on their bills. And so now we have these companies coming after consumers to collect. All right. Now, these debts usually are not going to be the most current. These are going to be debts that are old, namely your debts that are getting ready to expire based on statute of limitations. The creditors know that based on your state and where you live, after a certain amount of time, they can no longer pursue you for a debt. So they are going to now try to pursue you to get you to make payment arrangements or a full payment of settlement, however it may be, so that they can start bringing in some income. Okay, so this is happening. If someone happens to call you by your full name and ask you if you are that person, more than likely that is a process server. I want you guys to look at the video that I have below if you guys are interested in being a process server. I actually recently went and took the class and got my certification because I knew this was coming with the pandemic. And if you're an individual that likes to make extra money on the side, this is a great way to make money because you will be serving a lot of individuals for lawsuits coming from debt collectors. Okay. So why are you being sued? Well, these debt collectors are not making any money and they need to. So they're going to come after you to get you to pay. Who is suing you? So far, I have only seen debt collectors, not the original creditors. So that's not your Capital Ones or your Discovers or your Bank of Americas. It's not any of the big guys. It's the smaller guys, the LVNV fundings, the Midland fundings, some of these law firms that you may see, some of the more common names that you might see on the credit reports like Portfolio Recovery. Those are some of the big ones. Those are actually the ones that are going after individuals. They actually have the money to get to pay to litigate these cases, to pay for lawyers to actually just handle them. So they're larger companies, so they have a little bit more money than some of the smaller guys. So I would be expecting or telling you to expect that if you are going to get sued, it would probably be from one of those large name debt collector companies. Okay. What do you do if you get sued? Well, once the process server gets you to say, yes, that is you, and you sign and you accept the paperwork, you need to review the petition. And the number one thing you need to do is find out, well, two things you need to do. First, find out who is suing you and the amount that they're suing you for. That's very important because you want to make sure they got the right person. You want to make sure that it's a debt that's actually yours and does not belong to somebody else. The second thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that the statute of limitations has not run out, so that you're not paying for an old debt. And now I thought of it, now there's a third thing you need to do. You also need to read the petition to see when it is you need to respond by. That is very, very important, and I'll tell you why. If you don't respond to the petition in the correct or the right amount of time, you may lose your right to dispute at a later date, because if you don't show up to court or if you don't respond to the petition, you are essentially telling the judge that you don't care. So whatever the company is seeking, and more than likely they are going to be seeking to garnish your wages. So if they are seeking to garnish your wages, and you need to read that in the petition because you want to know how they want to be paid, and more than likely if they're taking you to court, it's because they want to garnish your wages, because they actually need a court order to do that. So if they want to garnish your wages and you don't respond to the petition, then you're essentially telling the judge that, hey, do whatever, and more than likely the judge is going to award them the decision to garnish your wages, and now you're stuck in a situation that you can't really stop. Okay, now if you're in a situation where this debt is high, you do not want to pay it. Okay, you have an option to possibly look at filing bankruptcy if it's over a certain amount. I think the minimum for bankruptcy is $10,000 to file, so that might be an option. Bankruptcies can be removed. It's not the end of the world, but sometimes you don't want to pay for something that you can't use or that you no longer have, or for, for whatever that debt is. It could be a repo, it could be a medical bill. We don't know. So based off of what that debt is and the amount of that debt, you have to make that decision, okay? Now, you can also respond to the petition by reaching out to the attorney that is suing you. Their information should be on the petition, and you can make arrangements with the lawyer to settle outside of court, or to make some type of an arrangement, and then they will go and withdraw the lawsuit. Okay, so you do have a couple options. So again, I'll run those back. You can pay this in full for a settlement price. You can make a payment arrangement, or you can say you're going to file bankruptcy. And if you do decide to file bankruptcy, you still need to respond to the petition, meaning you can just call the attorney and let them know you're filing bankruptcy. If you file bankruptcy before the date that is on your paperwork that you have to respond by, you won't even have to go to court. You can actually just give the attorney that's suing you your bankruptcy case number, and then they will proceed to withdraw the lawsuit, because now you no longer are responsible to pay it, because you're covered under bankruptcy laws. And bankruptcy also tells all of your creditors they have to halt and they can't bother you. So those are really going to be your three options. But like I said, so it's three things you need to do when you get that report. You need to see who's suing you and that amount that they're suing you for. You need to just check that statute of limitations to make sure it's not an old debt. Usually this is already done. Lawyers usually will vet that information and check before, because you could sue them if they're trying to come after you for a debt that's old, or that should not be pursued anyway. If it's an old expired debt or something that's still reported on your credit but it shouldn't be, and they're trying to pursue you, they open themselves up to lawsuits. Okay. And then the third thing you need to do is you need to read that petition so you can see when you have to reply by. You do not want to lose your right to dispute. You do not want to give these individuals the right to come after you and garnish your wages. And you don't want to just give these lawyers an easy win. Okay. So if you don't want to go to court at all, again, you can work out a settlement or a payment arrangement, or you can file bankruptcy. Okay. That's an option. Now, if you just want to be gung-ho and go to court, you absolutely have the right to do that. The lawyer, sometimes may or may not even show up. I've seen people win because they've shown up and the lawyer never did, because sometimes these lawyers don't think that the consumer really will follow through. Usually consumers get scared when they get served paperwork. That's why they are using this tactic right now. It's usually used as a fear tactic or a scare tactic to get you into paying. And it's crazy that they're actually coming after people now during this time when they know individuals don't have money. But this is just more proof of why I don't necessarily like debt collection practices, because they're not ethical. They're definitely legal, but they're not ethical, and that just bothers me. So those are the three things you need to do when you get your petition. And these are your three options after you get your petition to see which way you want to go. But don't be alarmed. Don't be scared. Don't feel like it's the end of the world. There are options out there for you. Make sure that it is not going to be any option for debt consolidation or any of those type of programs. I gave you the three options that I think will be the most beneficial to you. Remember, no matter what agreement you get into with these individuals, make sure you ask if they will remove these items from your credit report, so that not only is the debt settled, but now you can ask to have that item removed so that you can just forget it ever happened and move on. All right. Also, this is a public record. So if you are being sued, it will be available for someone to see that you've been sued, as well as if the lawsuit is withdrawn, that will also be shown. So just in case you may have not known that, it is a public record. So there is something now out there that you can actually go and search yourself in your local clerk of court system, and you will be able to search by your name and you'll see that you've been sued. Let's see, one other thing. I saw someone, they actually got sued, and then they got a letter from an attorney stating that they were being sued, and this attorney wanted to represent the client. So if this happens to happen to you, you receive a letter saying, hey, we want to represent you. We found out that you're being sued. Before you contact that attorney that sent you that letter, go and look yourself up. They put your case number on the letter, so you can go and actually type in that case number by your clerk of court website, or you can search by your name again and see if the lawsuit is active. When the individual that informed me told me, I actually told her to go and type yourself into the website to see if this is true. When she went to type herself in, the lawsuit had actually been withdrawn. So these people were actually using a fear tactic on top of another fear tactic to actually get her to possibly rush into doing bankruptcy for something that wasn't even happening anymore. All right. So remember, people are going to do some strange things for some change during the pandemic. And that is not just people out in the street. That is people who sit behind a desk also. All right. So cover yourself, protect yourself, do those 3 things. And hopefully you will not have to get sued, and maybe everything will work out for you. If not, I got bankruptcy videos that kind of to ease your mind, because not everything is bad just because it starts with a B. Okay. So again, like, subscribe, share my videos, hit the notification bell, spread the word. It is time to get out good information that people can use. So again, thank you guys for your support, and I appreciate your time. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.